You like the rush then, yeah?
Yeah, for me, I just trade. For me, my most volatile pay is gold. That's the only one. That's the most.
Yeah.
The rest
I do watch gold. Yeah.
The rest are just okay. They are average. They're okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to the next setup here. Again. So let's see. This was the one also. So I think it's written 4-hour order block. This was 4-hour order block. Right. So what like I told you last time? Look for imbalances in the order block. There was this imbalance here, and there was another one here. Right. So this was engineered liquidity. So they came back to this order block, to this one here, one up here. That's the one they came back to. So if you had missed this, there was another breaker entry here. There was a breaker entry again. So you would have sold here on the breaker entry. Okay. And clear this. And we also had the New York reversal. Lower low, lower high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So to make a low, this was a type what do we type? Sort of a type 2. Okay. So okay, this was actually this is the conservative BMS. This is the aggressive BMS. Yeah. I should put it like this. And this was the return to order block for the aggressive setup. Any other ones? Okay. This is another setup. The setup was on this day. The return was on the next day. So here, they left this fair value gap, and this was a fresh order block. The next day, price came back, lower low, lower high, lower low, BMS, return to order block there. There was your setup. You sell here, stop loss down here. If you miss this, you wait for this BMS. This was another entry, this one. If you miss this one. It was same chart. Okay.
A question here. If we have a multiple order blocks, the fresh order blocks, which one do we consider that the market will come and they will react or reverse? Like in your previous example, if you see there's a lot of order blocks and the market's just going up and they came to the last one. So how do we identify that thing?
Which one?
In the previous picture, if you come back.
This is the previous picture. This one here.
This one, yes. Here if you see we
same as this. So which one?
So here if you see here, like this is the order block you're marking. We say okay, this is higher high higher low, this is broken. Now we have this order block also. If we say for this order block, we have this order block. We have, if we say higher higher low, okay, so like that, like we have two, for example, if you have this one and the one you're saying. So if I'm waiting, okay, this is a fresh one, so maybe the price when it's coming down, it should track this one and it go, but it came here, it came to this one. So how do we find that? Like
this order block is not fresh. This was the return right here. This one. This is the return. So not fresh anymore. Actually, let me go back. This order block first, this one. This is the return. So now not fresh anymore. This order block, this is the return, not fresh anymore. BMS. This order block, this is the return. So all these order blocks are no longer fresh. They've been used. So that's what you should also be looking at. They already mitigated all these order blocks. They're no longer fresh. The only fresh one is the one down here. So that's why price came down here. Because all these ones were used yesterday. This was yesterday. They were used up.
okay, another question is like, how do we know, like, is there any way to find out like the price will return to order block, or because we are talking here about the reversals, like as you're saying, so how do we know that it will come to reverse to breaker or mitigation block, or it will come to order block? Like we are waiting for the order block, but it came to breaker and then start going. So any way to,
like I said last time, you don't know. You don't know. Because price can do whatever it wants. Remember, sometimes you've seen that price would do a higher high, higher low, return to order block, then higher high, higher low, up there, right? So what you do is just with everything that I've taught you, mark the levels. If your order block was here, right? This is the BMS. If your order block was here, just mark your order block. If price comes back, then you look for a lower time frame buy setup. If you see it, you buy. Price goes up. If you mark this is the new order block, if price does not come back here and continues going up, then it's okay. Look for a new order block up there. Look for a new order block. Because sometimes price will not come back. They don't come back. But if you have a breaker and an order block, if you have a breaker and an order block here, breaker, order block, what I do is I measure from this breaker to this low, how many pips is it? Okay, so for me, my stop loss is always 10 pips, right? So if this is 10 pips, I'm okay, I'll buy here on the break. But if it's 20 pips, then I'm gonna I'll wait and see where price is going to react, or wait for a new setup. So when the price comes back, let's say they come back here, they go past here. Then if I'll wait for a new setup like this, then I'll buy here. That's what I do.
Okay.
If this was like 20 pips, then I'll wait for a new setup on lower time frame.
Okay. Can I just ask a question then, Peter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. With this, the order block at the top where you've got it drawn, and then it comes back to 50% of the fair value gap, right? And then it trades away, then it takes out that order block, so it makes that order block an old order block, and then carries on further down. If the fair value, if it had gone through the fair value gap into that order block, that order block would have been spent, yes? So if it's coming up the other side, it wouldn't come back to the order block because it's already been used. Is that correct? And it's likely to go through market structure, so as it collects more liquidity.
You mean this one?
Yeah, that one there. It goes away and then it comes back and it collects orders from the fair value gap, and then it goes further down. So it creates another order block here, right? I don't know whether you can see my mouse or not. That one there. So, and then it comes back into that order block, forming another order block, and it carries on all the way down because of that. When it starts to come back up here.
Okay, wait,
when it starts to come back up.
Can you try to use the annotate? You can use the annotate so you can draw on the chart.
Okay, let me do a draw. Yeah. Okay, so this one here, this order block, right, was the first one formed. It didn't come back to that order block, right? Yeah. So in that respect, it's come away and it's come back to the fair value gap, right, which is there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oops. So the fair value gap's there. It's made another order block, right, which is there. So it comes back, trades into that order block here with this order block here, right? So this one is an old order block now because it goes further down. When it's gone all the way down to the bottom and come back up, right, here is the original order block here, right, is the order block that hasn't been used. So when it comes back up, it'll collect orders from that order block. But if that order block has been used, right, is it likely to trade through, right, so as it collects more liquidity and then go back down again?
Okay, now this is where we can. Oh, yes. So they can come down here, like what I taught you in the liquidity lesson. They'll do an external range stop hunt. That's what they will do. As long as they are still bullish, they'll come and do a stop hunt here. Stop hunt. Yeah. So if you look at all the
that's
order
applied
blocks,
to the other side.
If all the order blocks are used up, they'll probably go to the
Okay.
Hello? Making noise.
Hello? Who's that noise?
Fernandez, can you mute Fernandez, Peter?
Okay.
That's better. Yeah, so if all those are used up, then on the right-hand side of the chart here, right, oh, hang on, my annotate's gone again. Right, so if those order blocks on this side have been used up, when it comes to the other side here, right, the chances are it will go through them and it will do a stop hunt. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And this was another, yeah.
Thank you,
another,
Peter.
okay. Another example. This is the 1 hour order block, and this was the BMS. Okay, and this was the return to order block here. So this was the order block that broke market structure, that broke this low here. So this whole low, these lows here, this is the order block that broke. So like I told you, the order block before BMS. So they broke market structure, return to order block. Then you can sell here. And then if you miss this, there was another setup here, down here. Okay. This higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Fail to make a high, break market structure type 2, then you can sell here. Put your stop loss above there. That's another setup. If you miss this again, another one here. High, low, high, BMS. Entry was here. You get, yeah, breaker entry here. This is the breaker. So the good thing about the market is sometimes if you miss your setup, they can give you another entry. They can give you more entries. But this setup, I remember it was a 1 hour. Yeah, this was a 1 hour stop. This was a 1 hour stop hunt with the wick inside a 1 hour H4 order block. This was a 1 hour, and this was the 15-minute BMS. And the entry would have been here, then stop loss down here. So that's why we use our higher time frame for market structure. We don't use the lower time frame. Because if someone has used this, they will say, okay, this is now a downtrend. No, 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 no. We use our, if you look at the high time frame, it was just a week. This was just a long week. And I think New York was here. I think this was New York, yeah. New York, they came, yeah. But there wasn't some, it wasn't clear though. Okay, I think that is it. Yeah, that's. Let me go to the, where's my broker here? I haven't been trading for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't even been opening the charts, so I don't even know what's going on.
You'll be getting rusty.
Nope, it's called detox, man. Sometimes you just need to detox and just focus on other things. I think only this week, and then I'll start to do my analysis. But for these 2 weeks, I'm just going to be resting. And as you can see, price has been in a range. There's just been in a range. There's nothing here. This is just too stressful to trade. This too stressful. I want something which is clear. I want this. This is what I want. This one. This.
Yeah. Ranging. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see if we have any setups here. Okay, let's see. This was the range. This was the high. This was the low. This was the order block down here. Right, and this was a complex pullback. This one. Okay, the one I told you. Just a second. Okay. The one I told you last time that sometimes we have a higher high, like here, a clear higher high, clear higher low, clear higher high. Okay, so just like what the guy was asking, this was my order block. I was waiting for a return here. There was no return, so no setup that day. Wait for a new setup. Right. So sometimes there's higher high, higher low. Then sometimes there's higher high, then complex pullback. This one. Then later on BME. This is what happened here. This is what happened. This. Right. So our key structure was this low and this high. That was the key structure. And then there was a higher high, higher low, stop hunt. This one. An LP. Then you mark your LP. And I think you guys can see how many reactions the LP had. reaction, 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 reaction. So many reactions. Anyways, let's look at the, yeah, so this was 4 hour, right? Yeah. So 1 hour, this was the BMS. And this was the first return to order block, this one. So we are selling, but we are still bullish. Taking over, we are selling, but we are still bullish. So we are selling a complex pullback. Well, where to this order block, here. So let's see. Stop hunt, BMS. Right, this is the 1 hour order block. Inside, we also have this order block here. So, okay, this entry was in, this was an entry in, what is it? In Asia, yeah, Asia. This was this, but I was sleeping this time. And they were coming to this order block. This is the order block that broke this market structure. This whole market structure here, this is the order block. So that's why they came back here. So you could have sold, for those who trade in Asia, right here. Higher high, higher low, failed to make a high, BMS. This is the return. You would have sold here. If you are someone who trades in Asia, you would have sold here, then sell this whole thing here. But then what they did now is they were engineering liquidity. So now this high, like I told you, I don't buy or sell if they have not taken Asian highs or low. So price came down here. These highs were intact. This high and this high were now, this one now was liquidity. This high here was also now, what is it? Relative equal highs, right? Now look up here. Where was it? I think it was more clear on the lower time. Right here. I want you to, right here. So we had this order block here, this one here. And also we had also this fair value gap here. So we have this fresh order block and also this one. I think it was more for December. Right, okay, yeah. So we have this line here is my 5-minute order block, fresh order block. And then we also have this 1 hour, 1 minute order block also, which is also fresh. So that's why they came here, up here. That's why they came up here. So they did a stop. So now if you go, let's go to 4 hour and see what happened. This was the wick, this one. This is the wick. It was a wick. It was not a BMS, it was just a wick. So it was a stop and they were taking out liquidity. That's what they were doing. So here, this whole BMS here was a 4 hour stop hunt. They were taking out liquidity and then price closed here. This is where price closed, down here on 4 hour. So they were taking out liquidity. That's what they were doing here. And then higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, failed to make a high, BMS. Then the next day, this was the return to order block here, the next day. But this day was also a consolidation day. There was a consolidation. Why? Because they were building up liquidity. They were building up liquidity here. This liquidity and liquidity down here. They were building up liquidity, even this one here. Then the next day, so now we have buy side and sell side. So first they went up to take out the buy side liquidity. This here was the equilibrium of the order block. This one here was the equilibrium of this order block. So they went up to take out this liquidity, right? So where's our setup? Higher high, higher low, failed to make a high, BMS, lower low, lower high, return to order block here. It was the sell. You would have sold here, stop loss here or here, depending with your risk appetite. They gave us 70 pips. Okay, if you had missed this setup, this was the other setup again. This one, BMS, return to order block. Let's go to 5 minutes. Yeah, as you can see, this was the BMS. This was the return. We first saw here. This was the BMS and the return. This was the second return. So you would have sold here or sell here. And then now we had our return to order block now. This is the return to this 4-hour order block. Let me remove this. This is our, yeah.
What point do you realize it's a complex pullback?
Huh? Can you repeat your
At what
question?
point do you realize it's a complex pullback?
If I see something like this, a higher high.
Yes. When you're going, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
If price comes back here, that's not a complex pullback. Okay, like this one here. Look at this.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a clear
Mm-hmm.
higher high, clear higher low. BMS, higher high, higher low. Everything is clear. But looking at this structure, there's no complex pullback here. Higher high, higher low. Then we have a higher high. But then now look at what happened. What happened now? There was no higher low. Price started playing around in premium.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a higher high,
I get
higher
you.
low.
I get you. That's
Stop
how you
high.
identify.
Yeah, BMS in premium. That was my indication that, okay, now they want to have a complex pullback. So there was a higher high, higher low, then higher high, then there was something like this. So this was the beginning of a complex, because now this is my low and this is my high. This low is still intact, this high is still intact. So that was the indication that they're now having, we are now having a complex pullback. And even as you can see throughout the whole week, they were just doing this. Price was just moving very slow like this. Then later on, we tend to discount. Then now price goes up. So majority of the time, price will make a higher high, then come down and make a higher low. But the moment they make a higher high, then they give you like a small reversal up there, up in premium. Then that's the beginning of a complex pullback. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, where are we? And then now this was the return to order block now, to our 4-hour order block. This one here. And lower low, lower high, lower low, PMA. There was no clear setup here. Sometimes there's no clear setup. Just know that there's no clear setup sometimes. Sometimes you wait for price to come back to your order block right here, but price will just come back and just do something like this and then goes up. No setup. They do that sometimes. It is frustrating, I know, but well, that's how the market is. Sometimes there's no setup. Okay, let's see. Where are we? So we were still on this complex pullback. Then now this was the BMS. Then now price was bullish. Let's see. Recently, what's been happening here? So this is the one that I show. So there was a higher high, higher low. Failed to make a high. BMS here. This is the order block. And also in LP, there was a stop hand there. I remember, yeah, this setup I missed it because I thought price was going to consolidate here, but then it was a Monday. Price just gapped and then price started coming down. So this was the return here. I was waiting for a clear setup here, something like this. But then, well, this was Friday. This is Monday. But then they gapped and then price just continued going down here. Just continued going down. So there was no clear setup. But I think, and then I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to use this chart because I haven't been looking at the chart recently, so I don't know what's going on. I have not been analyzing the markets recently. I'll just have to go back. So let's look at even this setup here. This is the order block. This was the higher high. This order block is also a 4-hour order block. So let's see the setup. Setup came in Asia. So now, what do we have? We also have an LP. This one, stop hunt. And take a look at this. Right, yes. So these are 4-hour order block and also 1-hour order block. Right, so what did I say? Now look for imbalances. Look for order block that has been used up. Okay, so this is what used up. There was a return here. This one there was a return. So all these order blocks here, they have all returns. So now they're all used order blocks, but the only one we use fresh is the one here. This is the fresh order block. This one. This one used up, used up, used up, used up, used. All these are used. This is the only fresh order block. And you see how price reacted there, right here. The reaction on that order block, on the fresh order block.
That's
Lower
a beautiful
low,
move.
lower high, lower low, BMS. This was the return right here. So the return was right there. Here. There was the return.
Got it.
Yeah, even on one, okay. The reason why things were not clear here, because it was the daily open. Whenever price is opening, sometimes the candles are a bit messy, but this was the return, this one here. This was the return. But the setup was at 12 midnight. That's when it came. So I was sleeping, I missed it. But for those who trade in, who are in North America, they would have caught this. Right. Any questions so far? Any questions on our setups?
What about the range setups? Like you mentioned a trend and a range setup, we will check which one we are going to use, because the one we seeing 1.12 and 2 normally we are using in a trendy market, like in a
Same
bullish and
setup,
bearish.
same, as long
So
as
these
you
are the same one we are
if
using.
you are a range and this is your high, okay, this is your low, okay. So let's say all these are not BMSs. If price comes back if price comes back to premium, if you go to lower time frame, if you get something like this, you sell right there. Price comes down to discount, you get something like this here. If you get something like this on lower time frame, you buy. You buy here. Price goes up again, and let's say and then price give us a 1 hour stop hand, but there was the close is below. Then we go to lower time frame and we have a BMS, we sell again because they just want to continue the range. So in a range, either you're getting either one of two things. You're either getting a return to order block, or you're getting a new setup. So this could have been our lower time frame here. Let's say here there was something like this. So you see there was no return. So this is now the return. So you can buy here. You're buying on the return. Or price is going up to give you a new setup. What do I mean by they are going up to take out this high? Then on the lower time frame, you get your type 1 or type 2, then you sell. That's what they're doing in a range. They're doing all those two things. As long as they're continuing the range, if you look on these highs, they're either giving a return to order block or they are giving a new setup, a stop hand or a breaker setup. That's what they're doing.
Okay, another one is like where we have to check the FVG, because when I was doing a charting last time, I see in a full chart when I'm doing a lot of places we have FVG, imbalancing, but that is just FEG is over there and the price is coming and not caring of it and just passing away, up and down and here. But where we have to focus, as you mentioned, what I understand, like where we have order block or a breaker, you're saying if you have FEG, then that is the important one. So that part only for the FEG we have to take care, or we have to mark on the whole chart, because it is messy and the price is not respecting those FEG. Those are in the middle, other than order or BB.
The FEGs, like I taught you about the the order blocks, premium and discount. If this is your range, and the FVG is here, it's not in discount. I'm not going to use it. I want the one down here, and I also want the order block. Those two things. Okay. So most of the time, when you have FVG, sometimes there's an order block below that. So you want to mark the order block in the FVG, especially in discount or premium. If it's a downtrend, you want the one in premium. If it's uptrend, you want the one in discount down here. Anything which is not in discount, don't look at it.
Okay. Order block question I have, like sometimes I'll see we have order block, price comes below the mid level, the 50 level, and it stay over there and it's move up. So what we was considering that, okay, we are making a mid level is the price comes, there. And if it's going up, like it's not breaking the 50% as a candle close. So we are taking it, but I've noticed like many times it's closing below 50%, even 100% they are coming and then it's going. In this scenario, what do you say? Like, should we look for a setup or no? Like,
as long as you have a setup, you can take it. If this is the order block and this is the 50%, and then price comes back, then you go to a lower time frame, and then you get something like this. Price goes past the order block, but then you have your bullish setup. You can buy here. You can buy. But if there's no setup, if price just continues making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower, then there's no setup. Wait for a new setup. Because maybe they are now going for the external range liquidity here. They're going to do a stop hunt. Okay, so wait for it to see if there's a setup here, a bullish setup or a bearish setup, type 1 or type 2, inside the order block. And sometimes
so in a lower time frame,
what you notice is that sometimes when you go to lower time frame, price will go past the equilibrium. But when you go back to 1 hour, it will be like this. It will be a wick. When the 1 hour candle finishes, it will be a wick. There will be a wick. So sometimes when you're looking at the chart live, you will see that price is going below the 50% on your 15-minute and 5-minute. But later on, when the 1 hour candle closes, it will be above. This was just a wick.
yes, I understand, but I'm saying just if we have, like, the return is coming and we are having a 2 weeks kind of this, we have 1 week here, then we have, another week like this and a week kind of this, and then the price boom start moving. So do we consider this also, or if it's, below, for example, I'm talking about H1, and if H1 the price, the candle close like this and the second one is like this, and the price after that the price going up. So should we consider this keep looking for a setup, or if the price just close below this one or H1 for one of the candle, we can say, okay, this is not my setup. We have to look for another one.
Still look for a setup. Why? Because price might close below this order block, right? But if you go to lower time frame, maybe there was a 15-minute equal lows here. There were like 15-minute equal lows. So what they would do, they were going to take out those lows. They were going to do a stop hunt. So what you do is you wait and you see what's going. But as long as there's a setup, as long as you get your BMS, if they give you a BMS, then the setup is valid. Because yes, sometimes price will close below the order block. But what they're doing is on the lower time frame, they are going to take out liquidity. There was liquidity on the lower time frame. Maybe this order block on 15 minutes has a double bottom or a triple bottom. So they are going to take out that liquidity down here. Then they go up.
Yes, because I've seen a very nice setups, like if I'm just considering 50% if it's pass and close below, so it's not my setup, I'll see a big move is going on, even a big reversals. So that's why I want to not to miss those entries also. Like if the price close like below this 50%, 70%, and it's like consolidating, or as you said, like 50 minutes, it's making a liquidity, like this one, and then they take out and start moving. So we can still consider this as an order block and an entry. Like once they do pass this order block, start moving up, we can look for a setup on a lower time frame, as you said, as an order block to return to order block on a lower time frame, we can enter again, right?
Yeah, you can enter as long as you have a lower time frame setup. A clear BMS setup, you can take it. If there's no BMS, then there's no setup.
Okay, fine, thank you.
All right. Any other questions before we only have 2 minutes left?
Not for me.
Okay, that's okay. So just continue. Our next lesson is the top analysis. So I'll be showing you how to go from from daily to lower time frame to like 5 minutes.
Cool.
But for now, just continue practicing. If you are trading this week, it's up to you. But just be careful because most pairs are in a range. They're all ranging. There's no clear structure because most people are on holidays. So.
For the next month.
One question not related to this one, just for live trading and to do forward testing, which are the best pairs? Because I was I'll just put all this 36 or 26 pairs on them, and somewhere I'm marking order block and it's not respecting. Like if price is trendy, it's not coming to a full chart. Like if you have a 10 order blocks, they are just maximum returning 2 or 3. And some like what I've noticed, Euro USD, GBP, GBP USD, some USD pair, they are working, like a smart money concept, which we are learning. But some of them, they are not just, they are, going on their own world. It's a fully trendy, but it's not respecting what we have learned. So what do you think, like if we go for a live, as per your experience, which are the best, some pairs we have to more focus? Like I've seen some guys, like even, Michael, the ICT guy, his more setup what he's sharing, on Twitter and YouTube, it's based on GBP USD, Euro USD. So what do you say, like which one are the best one, where our things work very nicely, and perfectly?
All the pairs, ICT will show all the pairs. But the problem that you're making is you are trading all the pairs. That's the mistake you're making. Okay, that's your mistake. You don't trade 36 pairs. Choose 3 pairs only 3, maximum 3 or 2 only, and then back test them.
So anyone you rate best out of them, like as per your experience, your
No,
whole
this
experience,
one is
okay,
up to
these are
you,
the
to
best.
be honest, because some people like to trade pound pairs. I don't trade pound pairs. Not even one. I'll never trade pound pairs. Some people have pound pairs. Some people trade exotic pairs. They like exotic. Some people trade gold only. Some like Nasdaq only. So you see, it's up to you. But okay, I think our time is up. Okay, I'll give a new link, then we can just discuss. I can just finish this conversation.